الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We want to talk about أفعال الوضوء معرفة أفعال الوضوء. I'm in the class. معرفة أفعال الوضوء, knowing the activities of ablution. Knowing the activities of ablution. What are the activities of ablution? وأما معرفة فعل الوضوء, on knowing the activities of ablution, فالأصل فيه ما ورد بصفته في قوله تعالى. Its origin is evident in the Quran, in the statement of Almighty Allah, which says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, O you who believe, O you who believe, إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة, whenever you are standing to establish salah, فاغسلوا وجوهكم, mention what? Wash your faces. فاغسلوا وجوهكم, wash your faces. That's one activity. وأيديكم, wash your hands. That's another activity. Are we there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, we are. We are.
إلى المرافق, wash them to the elbow, to your elbows. وامسحوا برؤوسكم, then وامسحوا برؤوسكم, wipe your what? Wipe your heads. Wipe your heads. So another activity. Understand? Then wamsahu wa arjulakum, then wash your legs. Another activity. Illa al-ka'bayn, to the ankle. So these are the activities established in the Quran to ablution. ذلك أيضا في صفات وضوء النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الآثار الثابتة. This is also evident in what? In the hadith of Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. ويتعلق بذلك مسائل 12 مشهورة. Then on this there are 12 rulings, 12 popular rulings concerning the activities of ablution. Now, تجري مجرى الأمهات. These activities are regarded as the main and the fundamental activities of wudu. وهي راجعة إلى معرفة الشروط والأركان وصفة الأفعال وأعدادها وتعيينها وتحديد مجال أنواعها محل أنواع أحكام جميع ذلك. These are centered upon معرفة الشروط, knowing the conditions guarding or governing ablution. Then al-arkan, knowing the pillars of wudu. Wasifat al-af'al, knowing the description of the activities. Wa'adadiha, knowing the numbers of which to be carried out. Wata'ayiniha, knowing the particular parts to be carried out. وتحديد محل أنواع الأحكام للجميع, and knowing the rulings guiding each of them. So now we want to begin to talk about the activities of al-wudu. 1. Niyyatul wudu, intention of wudu. Intention to be proclaimed while establishing wudu. Now, اختلف علماء الأمصار هل النية شرط في صحة الوضوء أم لا? Many scholars of different continents, cities, and towns argue on the obligation of intention to validate wudu. Is it compulsory to make intention before wudu? بعد اتفاقهم على اشتراط النية في العبادات لقوله تعالى. After when they have agreed that proclamation of intention is key in any act of ibadah. Well, وَمَا أُمِرُوا on the statement of Allah that is evident in Quran, where it says, وَمَا أُمِرُوا, they have not been ordained or ordered إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ, except that they should worship Allah مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ, with high level of sincerity and purity. Now, so إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, and hadith of the Prophet Muhammad that says every action is going to be judged according to intention. So every action will be based on intention. So intention is key in any act of ibadah. Now, فذهب فريق منهم إلى أنها شرط. With this, some of them said it is compulsory to say intention. وهو مذهب الشافعي, and this is the school of thought of Imam Shafi'i, ومالك and Malik, وأحمد and Ahmad bin Ambal, the Hanbali school, وأبي ثور وداود and Abu Thawr and Dawood. وذهب فريق آخر إلى أنها ليست بشرط. And some conversation of ulama says it is not.
We can't hear you, sir.
What did you hear last?
Some of them said, I think you were trying to give the different opinion to the last issue that you mentioned. Yeah, that's the last thing we heard that some of them said.
The proclamation of intention is accepted to be compulsory by some scholars, like Imam Malik, then Imam Shafi'i, then Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, then Abu Thawr, then Abu Dawud. وذهب فريق آخر إلى أنها ليست بشرط. Some said it is not compulsory. Did you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Some said it is not compulsory to proclaim intention before ablution. And that is the school of thought of Abu Hanifa, the Hanafi school of thought, was Thawri, then Imam Thawri. وسبب اختلافهم, and the reason for this argument, for these divergent views, is تردد الوضوء بين أن يكون عبادة محضة, is that scholars are making different positions on whether ablution itself is an ibadah. They are making different positions on whether ablution itself is an ibadah, an independent ibadah, or something that makes ibadah valid. So that is the basis of the argument. غير معقول المعنى يعني وإنما يقصد بها القربة فقط كالصلاة وغيرها. And the other people's opinion is that it is just a step to make an act of ibadah a valid one. وبين أن يكون عبادة معقولة المعنى كغسل النجاسة فإنهم لا يختلفون أن العبادة المحضة مفتقرة إلى النية. They don't argue on the permissibility, on the obligation of proclaiming intention while intending to carry out an aspect of ibadah. But the argument is on, is ablution itself an act of ibadah or something that validates ibadah? So that's why there's argument on, is it compulsory to make intention or not. فإنهم لا يختلفون. والعبادة المفهوم المعنى غير مفتقرة إلى النية. And why they don't have to stress themselves is that in Islam, any act of ibadah is not made compulsory to be it's not made compulsory, it's not attached to intention, just to have the intention that I want to do it. There's nothing necessary, it's not necessary to say you want to say the intention out. Yes. So just have it in mind that I want to carry out this thing on the instruction of Almighty Allah. Then you have made your intention known. I'm going for Hajj, I'm going for Hajj. You are not expected to say, Allahumma, I'm going for Hajj. But when it is time to do what? To take ihram, you say it out that labbaika hajjan or labbaika umratan, whichever one. So والوضوء فيه شبه من العبادتين ولذلك وقع الخلاف فيه وذلك أن يجمع عبادة أنه يجمع عبادة ونظافة والفقه أنه ينظر بأيهما هو أقوى شبها فيلحق به. So the most important thing is that whether you make your intention that I want to perform ablution or you conceal it yourself, it is regarded as ibadah and it will be acceptable and it will be accepted by Almighty Allah. Do not just do it with the intention that you want to use it to serve Allah, whether by establishing salah or reciting Quran or performing nawafil. So intention is key. Don't just do it to play. Don't just do it for body purification. Do it for both body purification and soul purification to attain the next level of what? Of spirituality. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the confidence you have in me. Thanks for cooperation with me. May Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless every one of us and enrich our knowledge and give us the strength and energy to carry out more beneficial ibadah so that we'll be pleased with here and in the hereafter. هذا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
وعليكم السلام
وبركاته.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
جزاكم الله خيرا Sheikh. So as usual, brother, if you have any questions, please about either what was discussed tonight or about anything, any fiqh issue, do ask. You can either raise your hand or type in the chat box. Thank you. Do we have any questions, anyone? But Abdulaziz, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I just want a bit of clarification on the idea of ablution not being an act of ibadah or, something almost like a gateway to an act of ibadah. I mean, if we can say things like walking to the masjid can be categorized as an act of ibadah, even though it's not the primary intention of the act itself, other than the fact that the motion needs to be made to get to the act of ibadah. I wonder why ablution cannot be categorized as such. Or, there are other examples. For example, during Ramadan, you can say the Tarawih we do is not part of Ramadan, but it helps it. Is you can say Nawafil is a generally known act of ibadah, but when let's put it as a mathematical equation here. If you don't do Nawafil at all, nobody can guarantee that you will not go to Al Jannah, so to speak. So, for example, with ablution, it's actually more necessary in the sense that no ablution, no nawafil, no salah. So I wonder how the conclusion came about to say something like nawafil cannot be classed as an act of ibadah, whilst it is a tool to get the job done, just like you walk to the masjid, just that you dress up so you can actually perform salah, because you're not allowed to perform salah naked. Once it's a tool to the act of ibadah, at the very least, it should be classified as nawafil, not just something almost as zero, if you get where I'm coming from, sir.
Ibadah, nawafil is ibadah. We have categories of ibadah, the compulsory and the supererogatory and the obligatory. And the one with which we seek for Allah's presence faces. You understand? So, everything is ibadah. Everything on heart is ibadah. It depends on your intention. So, but there are compulsory ones and there are what? Supererogatory ones, like nawafil after salat. And there are ones you choose for yourself to please Allah. So all these things are ibadah. Eating, drinking, sleeping are ibadah. But what we are saying here is that, is it a complete ibadah to make niyyah compulsory, or it can be categorized as those things that if they are not said or done, it will not affect the major ibadah. So doing it, there's no argument that it's compulsory to do it. But proclaiming intention of doing it is what we are talking about. Whether you proclaim intention or not, whether you say it out or you conceal it yourself, just do it for Allah's sake and do it the way it ought to be done. And that's all.
I see. So the thing is about niyyah, because
Mhm.
regularly speaking, you already have the niyyah to perform the salah. And since
Yeah,
this is something of a gateway to the salah, it doesn't
yeah,
necessarily require intention. I see.
yeah.
For example, you don't put niyyah for driving to the masjid or walking to the masjid. It's
Yes.
something to aid you in going to perform salah. Yeah, I
Mm.
see. Jazakallah khairan, sir.
وأنتم كذلك.
Do we have any more questions?
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
My own question is going to be in my mother tongue. Wọ́n náà máa ń fomi àlùwàlá ṣe àdúrà pé ó ní bó ṣe máa ń ka nǹkan kan sí tó fi ń ṣe àdúrà. A gbọ́ pé wọ́n máa ń bù sí nǹkan kan fi ń ṣe àdúrà. How far is that true, sir?
Omi àlùwàlá nínú súnnà tànà Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam táwa mọ̀, lẹ́yìn tí ẹ bá di ṣàlùwàlá tán yóò ṣàdúrà pé ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Allahumma ij'alni minat tawwabin waj'alni minal mutatahhirin. Lẹ́yìn yìí kò sí nǹkan kan mìíràn. Ìtumọ̀ rẹ̀ ni pé mo jẹ́rìí pé kò sọ́ba kan àfọlọ́run. Mo sì jẹ́rìí pé àná Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam òjíṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ni. Ó yé nísìn. Ọlọ́run wá fọ̀ mí mọ́, fi mí sínú àwọn tí wọ́n máa fàṣàfọ̀ mọ́, sì fi mí sínú àwọn tí wọ́n máa tọrọ àforíjì, kò jù báwọn lọ. àmọ́ kàn fún mi àlọ́ ṣe kíní kan kò sí ẹ̀rí fún a máa ń gbọ́ pé ẹ̀wọ̀n tí wàá lágídí ẹni kó máa mú mi àlọ́ àlá kí ló mi àlọ́ á ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú agídí ẹ mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́nkọ́ kó rọ̀ ni so àbí kẹ́ni káfà kan máa sàrà lánàá kẹ́ni kan máa gbé omi rẹ̀ mu òun ló máa tó bá wọn débẹ̀ wọn á mú mi ìdọ̀tí ẹnìkan wọ́n lọ́ máa tó bọ́ débẹ̀ o bá kó infection ọ̀pọ̀ òun o ló lábákà lòun wà so ìwà ìdọ̀tí ni kò lẹ́sẹ̀ ńlẹ̀.
pé tí ṣéwù bá ń ṣàlù àlá àlè gbé omi ẹ̀ ká máa mú ká máa dà sórí.
kódà ẹ lè fi kojú jẹ.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah, máa lè díẹ̀ o.
Àwọn èèyàn ṣe o.
Tí ìyẹn lè lálàáfíà.
Èmi rí ni mo ṣe béèrè èmi rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn kan tàdé gbọ́ tàdé rí tán ṣe ni ṣéwù a máa ṣàlù àlá àwọn kan á máa gbé a máa fi borí a máa fi bọjú a máa mú ṣéwù ń ṣàlù àlá àwọn dẹ̀ ń gbèsè ni wọ́n mú wọ́n fi ń tọrọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹ ti dẹ́bọ̀.
I was just about to ask the question regarding that. That doesn't that classify into the deification of individuals? They're turning that person into a deity, which goes against one of the cardinal tenets of Islam, no?
Yeah.
Exactly, that is what it
Àwọn
means.
Sọlọ́run bí Karim.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Ẹjọ́ brọ́dà tó ń sọ pé àwọn bí ṣe ṣéwù kan máa ń ṣàlọ́lá kan máa ń gbé. Kí náà fẹ́ fi ṣe tán bá gbé kí tán máa mú ni àbọ̀ máa fẹ́.
A máa rí wọn máa tẹwọ́ sí báyìí wọ́n mú wọ́n mú ìgbà míì wọ́n máa dá sórí ìgbà míì wọ́n máa sọ nǹkan ṣúkẹ́ṣúkẹ́ kan sí wọ́n máa fi bọ́jú wọ́n máa mú wọ́n máa ṣe nígbà tí ṣéwù dẹ̀ ń ṣàlọ́lá lọ́wọ́.
Téèyàn bá wò dáadáa ẹni yẹn gan pàápàá gan ṣe ó fẹ́ lè ní pé bóyá wọ́n ń jẹ́ kọ́ wọ́n ń bọ̀ ni. Tẹ bá wo púpọ̀ àwọn ṣe ìdíbò ní mọ́dà àyíkáwá yìí tẹ bá rí ṣe gangan ibi tó bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ forí balẹ̀ dán á ní kó gbórí pé káì ọ̀sùn bíi láì pé ọlọ́run nìkan lèèyàn lè forí balẹ̀ fún. Irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àwọn ẹlẹ́bọ nìyẹn àwọn àpá kan ń tẹ̀yẹ̀ pẹ̀ nìyẹn. Tùmí o èmi kàn sọ mi lè sọ sí ṣe ìpẹ́ bá máa dá sí o wọ́n bá ṣe sọ ẹ̀mí ìgbọ́rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó kàn bí ṣe òun ló ṣe jẹ́ kí n dáhùn. Tó bá lọ ìdọ̀tí ni ṣé omi ló tún fọ àwọn ìṣúṣ táwọn ṣe ìpá náà ti sọ ẹ̀gbin nìyẹn ó ti dẹ́gbìn.
Ẹ̀yin lẹ tí ì rí Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ rí wọn àti rí wọn.
Àwùjọ ti láì. Ẹ̀tọ́ nìyẹn gan ẹni ẹ bá tutọ́ gan wọ́n á fẹ́ lè máa tọwọ́ sí kán máa la. Ẹ ti di pọ́n bọ onítọ̀hún yẹn nìyẹn.
Kódà àwọn èèyàn máa ń gbé kẹlẹ̀mbẹ̀ ṣéwù mí nì.
No, it is not hearsay o. What we are saying here, reality ni àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tá à ń rí community tá à ń rí níbi tí ilé ayé dé sí nìyẹn. Kéèyàn kan lóhun ṣé wà àgbà. Káwọn kan wá gọ̀, kan wá tẹ́wọ́ sábẹ́ omi àlùalá tó ń ṣe òun purify ààrẹ, òun clean ààrẹ. Àwọn kan wá ń gbé wọn náà wọ́n mú wọn fi borí wọn dá sára.
Onítọ̀hún yẹn dẹ́gbà kan máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
Dáadáa. Òun gan sọ nígbà mi pé ayanu kí n tutọ́ sí ọ.
But Sheikh, if that is going on, then it's just the same when we say that the laymen, they don't always know the right from wrong, but the Sheikh himself should correct them. Unless to buy people, ideally the Sheikh should correct them. What are you doing?
Ọlọ́run àtúbọ̀ lékún ọ̀la káyẹ.
Àmín.
So ìyẹn ni ọmọ bísí pólítọ̀hún yẹn wọ́n bọ́ ni because téèyàn bá ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ó yẹ pólítọ̀hún yẹn tètè correct wọn. Ọmọ bísí àìtẹ̀ sample tí mo ti rí even kì í ṣe pé ẹgbẹ́kẹ́ ọbẹ̀ kì í ṣe tó ń forí balẹ̀ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ká oṣù bá ní pẹ́ kó gbórí sókè kó ṣèkún ìsókè. To the extent pé gbogbo nǹkan ìpín tó ti wá ṣe á tẹ
àwọn èèyàn ti rí dáadáa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwádìí ṣe sọ yẹn wọn kò sí nǹkan kan tí ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ju pé wọ́n believe pé àlùbáríkà làwọn ń gbà lára sheikh tó ti yé so àwa la lọ́dọ̀ tiwa la kà á kún ẹbọ ọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn àlùbáríkà làwọn ń gbà ṣe ti understand so àti ìwà lè pè lẹ́bọ níwájú ọlọ́run àgọ́ ni wọ́n ni torí ká tó sọ pé ẹbọ ni ó ní àwọn ó láwọn àwọn fundamental things tá a gbọ́dọ̀ rí ká tó sọ pé ẹbọ ni tó yẹ kó máa ń sìn tó kọ́ máa ń sin ní tán jọ́sìn fún tó yẹ kó òun ni wọ́n ń pè nígbà tán níṣòro a máa sọ pé wọ́n ti ṣẹbọ báyẹn kò tí ì di ẹbọ àmọ́ àgò ìdí àgò náà máa ní kí n tún lọ́dọ̀ gbà mí. ó ti ọlọ́mọ sí wa lágò.
mo agree pẹ̀lú yín. tọ́ni náà àgọ̀ nìyẹn lóòótọ́.
Okay, so on that note,
can I come in again on another one, sir?
Okay, that will be the last question for tonight, inshallah.
Okay, again, I prefer to say this in my mother tongue again. Ṣé wọ́n máa di tẹ̀sùbá mu? Wọ́n á máa fa tẹ̀sùbá. A wá pè nínú àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀ kán wá mú kan. Nígbà bá ti mú yẹn, a wá fi sọ nǹkan fún wọn. Ẹjọ́ sà báwo ni?
Ṣé pé ó yóò ní kí wọ́n mú bìkan nù tẹ̀sùbá àbí?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Torí nígbà tí aláàjì kan máa sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, wọ́n mẹ́nu lọ bí oníyẹ̀pẹ̀, èmi ò fẹ́ lọ síbi àwọn oníyẹ̀pẹ̀ àbí nǹkan kan bèyí tí mo tún rí nìyẹn.
Gbogbo yẹn ò dá. Ẹbọ nìyẹn jẹ́. Ẹbọ nìyẹn, ànábì ní gbogbo ẹni tó bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ti ṣe kèfèrí pẹ̀lú tọ́tàn fi ràn wọ́n. Ìyẹn ti di kèfèrí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó ti yé yín. Hello?
Náà máa ń gbọ́ yín, à ń gbọ́ yín.
À ń gbọ́ yín.
Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ṣe yẹn tó wá lọ tó tún wá gbà gbọ́ ó ti ṣe kèfèrí pẹ̀lú tọ́lọ̀ fi rán òun Muhammad.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Tọ́lọ̀ kó mọ̀jà ṣe kèfèrí.
Àmín.
Àmín ya Allah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh.